Arr, mateys! Today we're talking about Jersey Shore pirates.
Stay tuned to find out, matey. Arr.
Hello and welcome to Couple Chat.
Where we
Parents.
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat.
What did we do this past weekend, Jackie?
We went to Jersey Shore Pirates, finally.
Yeah. Yes, we had a gift card for it for how long?
Nate's second birthday.
Really? It was
Yes,
that long?
it was that long. Oh. Because I remember getting it like for his birthday via email, and then I totally forgot about it. And then one day I was like, wait a minute, I think this is in my email. And I searched and I was like, oh, it definitely is. It says 2022 on it.
Well, he has gone.
He went with school last summer.
Yeah. And your mom.
Yeah, because they did a summer day trip, and it's funny because he was required to have a chaperone, but my mom was saying like he was the most well behaved one. Like he was very timid and like didn't really want to do a lot on the boat, and he listened to the instructor and like everything like that. So, and a lot of the kids that were on the boat were just like wild and crazy, and they didn't have any chaperones. So. But you could tell that this time, too. I feel like Nate was very timid.
Yeah.
So he does get motion sick. So I got him kids Dramamine.
Yeah.
So I gave him medication before we left the house. And then by the time we were on the boat, he didn't seem to really be like nauseous or anything. I even checked in on him. I was like, hey, how you feeling? How's your tummy?
Yeah.
He was fine.
However, he did have to pee while we were on the boat.
He did. And I was really nervous. I was like, dude, I don't think they have a toilet on this boat. Like, This is the kind of vessel that does not have a cabin. Like, I can't help you. And it finally got to the point where the girl was talking and he was sitting on the bench and he was doing his like rocking back and forth, like holding it really tight, touching himself. And I'm just like, okay, let's go ask. And I walked over to the captain and I was like, hey, I'm sure you get this question at least once a voyage, but he's got to go. Like, do you have a way for him to go? And he was like, of course you do. So he went in the back there and he moved some stuff around. And I'm thinking like he's opening up something to like pee off the boat.
You're funny.
There was a little like porta john thing. And yeah, Nate just sat there and he was like, Mommy, hold me. He was like, Mommy, put me on there. He was like, Mommy, this is weird. And I was like, yeah, dude, this isn't a regular place for you to go potty, but here we are.
At least he went.
Yeah, I was glad that he did go. He had to go. Like you could tell. But the cool thing was Emma came with us.
Yeah.
Which was fun for her. I feel like, you know, at first she was nervous. It's funny because I think it was more so she was concerned like it was going to be an elevator experience because she's very nervous on elevators. She doesn't like the feeling of...
She's never really been on a boat.
That's what I mean. This was her first time on a boat.
Yeah.
So I feel like she wasn't sure. She saw it in the water and she was like, no, no, I don't want to. Yeah. And then I was like, you're okay. We're safe. Mommy's got you. And then like, I didn't even like pass her off to the guys. I like held her. They helped me onto the boat. And like, I was walking around on the boat and she was like, no, don't put me down. And she was fine. She sat in my lap for a majority of it. And then once she saw the water cannons were going to be activated, I was like, come on, I'll stay with you. And like, I was holding her hands up on it and like trying to keep her steady. Mm-hmm. And then eventually she was just like, yeah, like having a good time. So that was good. And then she still wanted to sit with me or sit with you. But yeah, I think that the crew it's funny because when you go to these sorts of things, you think like theatrical actors and they're going to be so over the top, like, like crazy. And they just weren't.
Yeah.
They were very much more subtle.
I mean, I think they're all just normal people.
That's what I mean.
You know, especially like it's a lot of kids that work there, and then obviously the captain is an older guy,
right?
But you know, they have fun with it. But like you said, it's not over the top. It's not like this big theater performance.
Right.
It felt for the kids. I would say they it felt real. They were just in it,
Yeah.
And they cracked jokes that, were really for the parents, which was nice. I was glad that it wasn't, I think that's why it was so much fun, because even we had fun. Because most of it, we were just sitting on the boat while they did stuff with the kids, but it was cool. It's such an in-depth experience. And, man, I would have loved to have been in his shoes and, see how he really felt about it and what he thinks about it.
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness. So, well, I guess maybe we should go through the experience a little bit, but you did something so awesome that I'm so upset I missed on camera. But
so you have to reserve your spot before you get on the boat. Typically the day before, if not for a open time slot in the day you're in, if there is one, very lucky, good for you. But you have to reserve how many people, adults, children, toddlers, or children 2 and under. Yes, you have to pay for them, not as much, because they typically may not be able to do as much. Like Emma could barely reach the water cannon, so I had to really help her with that. But they do have a limited space on the boat. And they have limited life jackets and things like that. For those purposes, they need to make sure they have enough for everyone on the vessel.
right.
So, you pre-register, you give them all that information. And when we got there, it was really cool. Like, you're walking through this marina and you're thinking like, oh, this is just like regular Joe Schmo. Like, are we in the right place? Like, it's funny because you looked at me and you were like, are we allowed to park up here? Like, did we park in the right spot? And then like we walked down the driveway and it's literally right on the left. And it's like
right on the left.
Yes. It's immediately there on your left. As soon as you walk down the path.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's attached to the marina. It just has its own like storefront and like wooding and stuff. But it was cool. Like, you walked up, there's this huge sign. Yeah. They're doing tattoos.
Nate didn't even realize what was going on at first.
Yeah, no
He
clue.
Just kept walking down to the marina, and we were like, Nate,
He's
Nate,
like, oh,
right
we're
here,
going to
right
the
here.
boat. So I was like, dude, we don't own a boat. Like, we're going on that boat.
Doesn't mean anything.
I know, yeah. I guess he thought, oh, Daddy's work. That's probably what he was thinking.
He did say that when we got there.
Right. But yeah, it's just funny because like he can't read, right? So like he doesn't know it says Pirate Adventures.
Him and Deadpool.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, he doesn't know it says Pirate Adventures on there, and it's just so funny because we're showing him and he's like, okay, and then they welcome him in and they're like, would you like a tattoo and like all this stuff, or there were kids getting tattoos, so they couldn't get a tattoo right away. When you check in, you go to the register inside and you get a badge sticker stating that you're there for the Jersey Pirates. And then the child, because you give them the name of the child and the age of the child, and the child gets a special name tag with their name on it. And Nate was Notorious Nathan and Emma was Ebtide Emmeline, and I even wrote in there like how to say her name. So like everyone knew her name was Emmeline. It wasn't Emmeline or however, because a lot of times someone reads her name, they say it wrong.
Yeah.
But they just, they were so all about the kids and the experience. Like, we didn't encounter one person who was like, that guy shouldn't be working here or that woman shouldn't be. Like, they all really seemed to like enjoy being there.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And we got the tattoos. So Emma got a little pink anchor. Nate got a little skull and crossbones, like the patches. Then they did the facial hair, like the mustache and the
unibrow.
The unibrow, yeah. It was so funny, especially because it was black and he has like blonde facial hair. It's like, oh, what's that black thing?
Nate has facial hair?
Like his eyebrows. Please. But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then when they realized they were going onto a boat, it was like,
well, Nate knew. because he's done it before.
Right. Nate's been on the boat before, but as soon as we got there, he was like, I want to see the boat. And like Emma was like, me too, me too. So I picked her up. I showed her. She's like, down, down. I don't want. I was like, okay. But
I'm not throwing you over the marina.
I'm not throwing you into the water. You're looking to see the boat. But yeah, Nate was very excited. And like you said, he's been on it before. So I think he knew what to expect, obviously.
Right.
Probably a different, captain, maybe a different Opal or whoever that person was.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a year.
So. Yeah.
He may not even remember much of it.
Right. Well, yeah, because the last time he went on it, he was 3. Right. So who knows what he remembers from it. But he had so much fun. And then, when we went to go off the boat, this was what you were going to say.
Yeah.
In the admission form that you fill out online, you fill out the kids' names, their ages, and then you fill out if there's any special event.
Yeah.
Or if you want them to know anything specific. So the one girl, it was her birthday. And for Nate, I had mentioned, hey, he really loves Rockin' Ron, the friendly pirate. He's in Vermont. If you could mention him, I think that would really make Nate's day, because we see him every year, and, just gave him a little blurb on Rockin' Ron. So Captain Scurvy goes, hey, the pirate, Pete, I think that's his name, the one in Vermont. And Nate goes, Rockin' Ron? And he goes, yeah, Rockin' Ron, the friendly pirate. He's up in Vermont, right? Yeah, I ski with him every winter. I'll tell him you said hi. He's my friend. Pete's his brother. And he totally covered it up for himself. And we're just standing there in the background, and I'm like, oh, they did actually
read everything.
Everything. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. It was a nice little touch. And he was like, Mommy, he knows Rockin' Ron. And I was like, I know, dude. That's so cool. I didn't know that pirate knew Rockin' Ron too.
Yeah. And
yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little touch. You don't expect them to say anything or do anything.
Right.
Usually it's they read off a list, happy birthday so-and-so. This is so-and-so's first time, blah, blah, blah. Like medieval times,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more like that, because they did the birthday thing during, while we were on the boat.
Right.
But no, I was very impressed that they remembered to say something.
Well, it was such a unique thing that I feel like, because you mentioned it, they were probably like, oh, dude, blah, 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 so.
Yeah.
I think it was good that you put that down there.
Yeah. I think, honestly, too, it's one of those things where that would definitely help with their soundtrack.
I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
I actually am kind of upset that I didn't bring Rockin' Ron's CD with me.
Oh, right. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would that have worked?
Just to be like, hey, there's this guy. He's a pirate up in Vermont. Believe it or not, a lot of people in New Jersey go to this resort, Smuggler's Notch, but he's pretty well known up there.
Yeah.
I thought you guys might be interested in checking out his music, because it would probably be something cool to just add into your soundtrack here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially how many times did Scurvy mention Poop Deck? And
oh my God, he kept calling his butt his poop deck. Yeah. He was like, "Why are you touching my poop deck?" I can't.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun, and the experience. It's kind of like a show where the kids are involved. We go out right there on the river, and it's awesome. It's this whole story they build into it. We're looking for a treasure. There's a map, and then you find that this pirate stole the keys to the treasure, and then you meet him out on the water, and you spray him down with the cannons. It's all this stuff. It's so awesome how they build it all together. And then you even go to this little cove where the treasure is, and I'm pretty sure they just have it tied off to the boat the whole time.
Yeah.
But you're looking, and then she's like, oh, there it is, and she picks it up out of the water, and it's a big box just they have floating in the water.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's cool. It's cool. The whole thing is a great time. And, it's only roughly 75 minutes, but it was enough.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think, I think more than that would have been too much.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun for all of us. Like, the parents got to sit there and see the kids having a good time, but at the same time, like I said, Scurvy interacts with the parents enough and like cracks jokes that the kids don't understand, that like it made you feel like you were a part of it too.
Yeah. So exactly.
It was fun. Definitely something recommended. Jersey, summer's almost over, but if you can sneak in there before then, definitely go. Or if you're a local, they'll probably be going until, I would think, the end of September.
I think they do voyages as long as like the water's okay.
Wow.
It's hard for the guy, Pirate Pete. I feel like as long as it's safe for Pirate Pete to swim, they're all right.
Right.
But
well, I would think, come cold weather, they're not gonna.
I think it's a seasonal thing. I think it's like a Labor Day, if not end of September sort of thing.
Right.
Especially because you have hurricane season. Like, the water can get pretty choppy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good time.
For sure. Anyway, if there's other things in New Jersey that you are interested in for us to try as a family, let us know, and we will check it out.
Yeah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie.
Here are the Hahns signing out.
Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music. You could even subscribe to our YouTube channel where you could see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Let's chat soon.